So this video is a total rip-off of Lainey Ozark's video which she dropped a few weeks ago. She talked about a scenario where if she lost all of her clothes, what 7 things would she immediately repurchase? I really enjoyed the video and thought it was a fun concept because it really makes you think about the things you actually love. And hopefully this will be really good inspiration for someone starting out their wardrobe or just looking to do a bit of a reset, because the pieces I'm going to be picking are timeless, versatile and easy to style. So yeah, I'm going to do my own version of Lainey's video, but in my scenario, all of my clothes have spontaneously combusted. Don't ask me why I chose this path. I'll link her video down below, definitely go give it a watch and give her a follow because she makes amazing content. I'll also link all the pieces that I've chosen in case you want to check them out for yourself. So my first pick is very similar to Lainey's. She went with her Levi's 501s, I'm going with my Levi's 505s. Mine are a vintage made in USA pair in a mid-wash blue. The big difference between 501s and 505s is that the 505s have a slightly higher rise, so I can wear them up around my waist, which is what I like. Rather than the 501s, which I find sit a bit more around the hips. It's totally personal preference though. But I like higher waisted trousers because I like to wear shorter length tops, or I just like tucking in my tops. Another small difference is that the 505s have zips instead of buttons like the 501s. But other than that, the 505s have that same classic straight cut with a regular fit throughout the leg. The look and shape is just timeless because they're not too baggy or too skinny. They look good with a roll up at the ankle to show off your shoes, or no roll up and breaking over your shoes. Also, I would specifically make sure that I got a vintage pair again. Vintage denim is so much nicer because it's softer and broken in and has a lovely fade to it from years of wearing and washing. Plus it's just way cheaper than buying a new pair. You could go on eBay now and pick some up for like $30. I've also heard that Levi's have slightly changed the fit of the 505s, so they're not as high rise anymore, so that's another reason to go vintage. While we're on the topic of trousers, another thing that I'd have to immediately repurchase is a belt. I've built up quite a collection now, and most of them are hand-downs from my dad. I used to only think of belts as something to hold your trousers up, but now I think they're one of the most important aspects of an outfit. They add detail, they proportion out your top and bottom, and they emphasize your waist. The specific one I'd go and try and repurchase is one of those hand-downs from my dad. It's this dark brown belt with the brass buckle and details. I'm not too sure on the brand. All I can make out is the word trader and that it was made in England. And my dad has no recollection of where he got it from, unfortunately. But this belt has become such a staple in my wardrobe. It's got a very classic look, and I find that it just goes with absolutely everything from smart to casual. I get so many compliments when wearing it, or if I post a fit pic with it, I always get a lot of people asking where it's from. I think it's because of the little pop of colour the brass gives off, which is different to most modern belts which are chrome or silver, and those added details such as the brass end piece and double brass loops. The brass and leather also have this beautiful patina from years of honest wear and tear. Now if you're in the market for one specifically like this, your best bet is going to be eBay or Depop, and look for some vintage ones. I've tried looking for a current brand who sells one like this and I couldn't find one. The closest in terms of design from a mainstream brand is probably this one from Our Legacy. It's got similar details and just has an overall similar vibe. It's a shame though that they only do it with a chrome buckle, but you might prefer that anyway. Next up, there's 2 pairs of shoes on this list, and the first one has got to be the Converse Chuck 70s in black and white. When it comes to a casual sneaker, I can't think of anything that has served me better over the years than the Chuck 70. Time and time again, I come back to it when I don't know what else to wear. The slim, elegant silhouette goes well with all of my jeans, trousers and shorts. And because they're high tops, you can roll up your pants to show that off, or wear something baggy. They'll work either way. Of course, for me it has to be the Chuck 70s and not the regular Chuck Taylors. The Chuck 70s are a totally different sneaker in my eyes. They have higher quality canvas, a rubber patch logo, a premium sole which makes a world of difference. The outsole is off-white, giving it a more lived-in and classic look. And overall, I just feel like it holds its shape better compared to the regular Chuck Taylor. They're a little bit more expensive, but well worth the upgrade. I especially love wearing these with my Levi's 505s. It's just such an easy and dependable combination to throw on. They're a modern day classic, super affordable, and I think everyone should have a pair in their rotation. Alright, next up, you probably could have guessed this if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, but I'd have to go out and repurchase some Loopwheel T-shirts. And yes, specifically Loopwheel. It's a toss-up between the Mersby 215 and the Real McCoy's Athletic Tee, but if I had to decide right now, it would be the Real McCoy's t-shirt in white. In all honesty, I'd be pretty happy with 7 of these so I could wear one each day of the week. Loopwheel cotton is the kind of fabric that once you've tried it, you can't really go back to normal t-shirts. The Real McCoy's one in particular is pretty thick and heavyweight, which I really appreciate living in the UK. I've worn this most days in summer and thickness hasn't been a problem. The quality is just superb as well. Since these Loopwheel t-shirts take so long to make, it means that all the details are done properly and you can really tell. All the stitching is on point, the collar is sturdy, and you just have confidence that it's gonna last. I'm really enjoying closer fitting t-shirts these days, and since the Loopwheel construction doesn't have side seams, you can really feel it conform to your body shape. The fabric sort of stretches and shrinks as you wear and wash it, and this t-shirt just has the best cut. The sleeves are tight without constricting, and the length is short enough to be worn without tucking in. Overall, I'd describe it as a vintage fit, sort of 50s or 60s. It's form-fitting, but not in an obnoxious way, if that makes any sense. Alright, the next thing I'd have to immediately repurchase is a Type 3 trucker jacket. I'm seriously torn between my Lee Rider 101J and my Aero leather trucker, but if my house was burning down and I could only save one, it would be the Aero. For those of you who don't know, I got the Aero custom made in Scotland, and I actually used the Lee 101J as the base pattern because it fit me so well. But yeah, I think the Type 3 is quite simply the best jacket silhouette ever made. And I'm talking about the original Type 3 from the 50s, where there were no pockets and the length was a lot shorter. I know I'm going to say it way too much in this video, but it's absolutely timeless. I'll wear it with jeans and sneakers or suit trousers and shoes. It looks flawless either way. That's why I had no problem dropping 500 quid having a custom one made that fit me perfectly, and I'd have no issue paying that again for another one if mine was destroyed. I went for Aero's exclusive 2.75 ounce jerky horsehide. It's tough as nails and you can tell it's a major step up from high street brands, but it's also softened up a lot and it's actually really comfortable. The leather smell is also just intoxicating. People love hugging me when I'm wearing this so they can get a sniff. However, if you don't want to spend that much, which is perfectly understandable, then going for a vintage denim Type 3 trucker is going to get you the same look. It's just a perfect boxy and relaxed fit across the chest and body, and then the length hits right at the waist. And then if you wear that with some high-waisted jeans with a belt on, you get in that dream situation where the jacket and jeans line up. So for my second pair of shoes, I was really tempted to go with some boots, but because I already have the high top Converse, I've decided to go for some loafers instead. My black Doc Marten loafers are easily one of my most worn shoes of the past few years. They're super quality and really comfortable after a few wears. The tassels are a fun detail and makes them an obvious choice when you want to look smart or fancy, say to a wedding or for an evening meal. But these loafers have also become a casual staple for me as well. I'm loving how well they pair with jeans. It's a look that takes a bit of getting used to, but once you're into it, you won't look back. I've become so accustomed to the loafer and denim combo that when I see sneakers and denim, it almost looks wrong to me. And now I've even started wearing them with shorts, and I continue to enjoy how they look. I know a lot of people think loafers and socks don't go well together. All I'll say is take a look at the old original loafer adverts. It's how they were made to be worn. But yeah, I think they look good with or without socks, but I personally prefer them with some crispy white socks. I know some people aren't a fan of the Doc Marten yellow stitching either, which is perfectly understandable, in which case I'd go with the Solovers. They've got a cleaner look, they're cheaper, and they're just as good, if not better quality, than the Docs. Number 7 is a newcomer to my collection, but I don't know how I went so long without them. And it's the OG 107 Army Pants in green. Like a lot of things in today's video, I'd immediately repurchase them mainly because of their versatility. They have that look and vibe of a cargo pant, meaning you can be super casual with them. I'd happily wear these out and about, going for a walk or even doing some DIY. But they can also be kind of dressed up with a pair of boots and a smart jacket or button up. Obviously it's not going to look formal, but they're just a little bit more refined than cargos, so you can get away with it more. And there's something about that genuine military design and army green colour that's just so stylish. The sateen is a beautiful material that's durable and really comfortable. You could go vintage like I did and the sateen will be nicely broken in and soft, This gets you a much looser look. Or you could purchase a brand new pair from somewhere like Oslo and they'll arrive a lot stiffer. Some people prefer that crispy look, especially if you want to dress them up a bit. I messed around trying to make cargo pants work for me for years because I wanted an alternative casual option to jeans, but I was just never really happy with them. However, these OG 107s have filled that void and I'd repurchase them in a heartbeat. So that's my 7 items, but you may have noticed a glaring gap. No sweater or hoodie or winter coat. I'd love to have included those, but honestly, I've not found anything in those categories that I find to be absolutely indispensable. So those are some things that I'll be on the lookout this fall and winter. I think the rest of the pieces are versatile, timeless, and really easy to style, and that's why I would immediately repurchase them. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again to Lainey for the idea. I'll link her video down below. I'd also love to know some of the specific pieces that you'd repurchase. Leave a comment down below. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.